So you've got a very unique way of viewing kind of how people can find success, get around the right people, but you're actively doing this yourself. What's your daily schedule like? You got a lot of things going on. You own a bunch of different companies. Like, what does your daily schedule look like?
So I don't believe that time is required to create outcome, because I used to be that 80, 100-hour a week entrepreneur many, many years ago. I'm married. I got 4 kids, and I felt totally out of balance in my life. And many years ago, I had my best friend die in a paragliding accident, and he left his widowed wife and 4 little baby boys back on Earth. And I remember after that, I thought, why am I killing myself and working so hard? Because what if today were my last day? And I said, okay, this is going to be weird. This is going to be a stretch for you, Mr. 100-hour week dude. What would your ultimate schedule look like? What's perfect? Because I know, like, I wake up at 4 a.m. I got 2 hours in the gym every day. I love that. I got a bodybuilding competition coming up in 7 weeks. Last year I took second. I'm pissed. This year I'm taking first. I'm going to do my best. So I got goals there. I got goals with my wife. Everything that's important is done by 9 a.m. in the morning. And when we kind of talk about my typical schedule, it's kind of weird, because here's what my perfect life currently looks like. On Mondays, I produce videos for the Game of Influence. Tuesday and Thursday, I work on my businesses from home. Wednesday, all day is my wife's day. We spend all day together. We'll take our jet. We'll fly somewhere. We'll hang out. We'll do something that builds us. Friday is my kids' day. All my kids are privately educated. We bring teachers into our home. We got 4 people that basically create this custom education for them. Saturday is my day. Sunday is God's day. So for me, my perfect is working about 25 to 30 hours a week. And if I work twice as much, I might be able to make more money. I don't believe so. I think I would be less happy. I think I'd be more stressed. And so I don't really think success is a function of time. I think it's a function of understanding your value, and then also balancing that against what is your perfect, because all of us should be striving for our ideal in our relationships and our health, and also in our finances. And I've been living that schedule for years now. And that one, it works for me. If I work more than 35 hours, I get cranky. If I work less than 20 hours, I'm not creating enough. 25, 30 hours is kind of my jam. And for me, I like to block that. So it's not just a little bit every day. It's like, when I'm in, I'm 100% present, and I'm working on this thing. I'm having a board meeting, pull people in. We're creating, we're doing something. And when I'm not, I'm out. I'm fully present in some other game of life that is designed to produce other utility, other happiness, other joy, other fulfillment. So imagine for a moment that you had all the money on the planet and you didn't need more. And then the question is, are you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? And often the pursuit of financial success and fulfillment, they don't go hand in hand. There's a limit. There's a limit to a perfect amount of work that someone can gain from fulfillment from, but then it leaves a huge gap in the rest of their life. And everyone's a little different. I can't speak for others, but I can tell you that for me, my wife is my best friend. We've been married for 21 years, and we just love spending time together. We love learning new things together. We love traveling together. We love experiencing the world together. We've been to more than 40 different countries together, and we live to have time for each other. And when I realized that, it actually kind of backs up a little earlier in the game, because my wife and I, a decade ago, we were only traveling once a year. We were taking like that annual trip because I was too busy working and doing other stuff. And I wanted to, I was in hot water with my wife because I had made some mistakes, and I really wanted to show her on this particular Christmas that I was sorry. So I wanted to make something really sentimental for her. And this project, was a quilting project. I enrolled my mother-in-law, and I spent 500 hours building this tapestry that was a symbol of our love and our life and what we're creating together. And part of the process was I had to I wanted to embroider it on the edges with 100 printed pictures on fabric of our favorite life memories. And when I went through 10,000 pictures at that time to find the top 100 moments, period, 91 of the 100 were found traveling. And after I realized that, I said, we're going to start traveling every month. We're going to live to create these memories. We've brought our children on that journey. And that's when we're out of routine and doing what matters most to us. For me to experience balance in my life, I live to have time with my wife, to connect meaningfully, to spend time with our kids, and just be with my best friend. And so, the trade-off is my company probably would love to have more time with me, but it forces me to value my time differently and empower the right kind of people that can keep things growing without me.
What do you do on those Wednesdays? Do you just sit and talk? Do you guys go visit? Like what are you actually doing?
Man, I mean, one of my favorite things to do with our private jet is to do a same day teleportation in and out. And so what that means is my morning is a sacred routine between exercise and meditation and time with my wife and kids. But at 9:00, that's all done. So we usually, our airport's 20 minutes away, our private. And so, by 9:30, we're in the air. And the goal is to sleep in our own bed. And so, one of our Wednesdays this last year, we went to Disneyland for a day. And we literally just lived it up, did the very best rides, flew home, slept in our bed. That was a blast. And so my wife and I, we'll go teleport somewhere and go experience a culture, a people, or something fun. Sometimes it's a spa day, something local. My wife is a crazy, I'd like to use the professional word geologist, but she is nuts about crystals and rocks like crazy. Our house is filled with them. And so we'll go out to like Tucson to the big annual gem show, or in Denver in September, we'll do that one, or we'll literally go rock hounding in Oklahoma where we can pull up big quartz crystals out of the ground. That stuff lights her up. My wife and I practice this thing called spousal advocacy. And the game is she knows what I want and I know what she wants. And whatever my wife wants, I want it more for her than she wants it herself. And what we try to do is outdo each other. And so in this game, sometimes a Wednesday will be focused on her. Sometimes it'll be focused on me. And that way we get to try different things. And the goal is to just support each other's different approaches to life and learn and grow together.
That's amazing. Friday, you said you spend with your kids. What do you guys do on Fridays?
It's winter now and we got a lot of snow. Last week we got dumped on 2.5 feet in a single day. So we'll go skiing together. Or there will be some kind of outing, Shenzhen, that big Chinese, traveling show was here last week. The kids have a Shakespearean module that they're going through. So in a couple of weeks, there's a Friday play that we're going to go to. My wife and I, when we got married, we decided, wow, if we are fortunate enough to figure out how to become, financially well enough, we'd love to pull our kids out of the public school system and we'd love to customize their education. And so we've been experimenting with our kids. I mean, I don't know, maybe a decade from now, I'll look back and say, well, I really messed some things up because I don't believe my kids need to know chemistry, trigonometry, a whole bunch of useless things that I was taught growing up. And instead I'm like, what are you good at? What do you excel at? And let's spend the majority of our time there. And let's round you out by also helping you understand a couple of really important things in life that you're not good at to, stretch your neural muscles and help you develop and grow into a good, well-rounded human being. But it's a crazy different approach to school because I think that what I want is for my children to fall in love with learning. So my son is a beekeeper and he's got bees and he's got a mentor that helps him figure out that whole thing because he's nuts about that. And I've got another one of my boys that he's totally into architecture and wants to build things. So he gets projects based on that. My daughter wants to learn Japanese. So she's got, a teacher in Japan that she converses with. And, we're going to Tokyo as a family this summer. And so, part of what we're doing on Fridays is just rotating, hey, what do our children need to fulfill that custom curriculum? For example, my kids are crazy about animals. So we went this last year, we took the jet down to Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands, rented a private yacht for the week and just went around the islands and we got to see all the crazy creatures that Darwin saw. And my kids loved it. Like, it was amazing. We're on this private beach and we've got sea lions swimming up to us, playing with us, interacting, putting on a show as if they had been trained, by some circus. And it's like, I'll never forget that. And so leaning into these custom educational experiences is, what we hope will end up being the hallmark of their education.
You mentioned on Saturdays, that's your day. What do you do on Saturday?
I think that everyone's got to have some type of system for self-care. And by the way, that system is daily, but I also give myself permission once a week where it's like, maybe I want to go snowboarding by myself. Maybe I want to go hang out with some of my friends. Like, what does Kris time look like? And, in my world, I actually don't need a ton of it. Personally, there's other people I know that need loads of it. I'm an extrovert. I like to be with human beings. I feed off of that. But this is where I just get really clear on, hey, what will create the most meaningful memories in my life? Let's go do those things. I got some people coming in town. I've got a 6x6 Apocalypse. I mounted a 50 caliber Modus on it. We're going to go take a bunch of tannerite and fruit, and we're going to blow stuff up. I've got a buddy of mine who's bringing flamethrower and a whole bunch of, full automatics. And we're literally going to go create in the desert this crazy custom experience and just have fun blowing stuff up. Like, that's fun. I enjoy that. So yeah, part of Saturday is just asking, hey, how do I rejuvenate me? Because the most important person on this planet that I pour into is not my wife. And it's not even God. If I'm not okay, then no other relationship can be. And so I don't sacrifice myself for the greater good or to even serve my family, because the most powerful way for me to serve them is to make sure I'm good. And I think that's a principle that all people need to get clear with, which is, are you achieving balance in your life? Do you like where you're growing in every area that's important to you? My body's got to be growing to sustain superhuman health. My finances have to be growing. My relationships with each of my children, my wife, have to be growing. And if all that's going down, that's great, but I can't do those things well. I can't optimize those if I'm not taking care of myself. And I'm an advocate for people making sure that self-care is present in their life on some daily level. And then once in a while, for me, it's weekly. There's got to be some other expression that is even bigger.